for today, and I attended a training this week on team building and leadership. So I took some great notes I want to share with you. I call this learning out loud. So have some great stuff. Go ahead, state your name below. We can go ahead and get this started. So right into the content. So my question for you today is, do you ever feel frustrated in your home business because you have a team, specifically if you're in network marketing, but you feel that you're the only one that's actually doing anything? Do you ever feel like you're the only one on the team that's actually producing and there's absolutely no duplication there? Do you feel like there's nobody on the team rising up and there's nobody on the team or in your organization that's copying you and doing the do? If you feel like that, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way at one time. And actually, what I found was this concept that I learned this week called the 80-20 rule for team building and leadership. It helped me tremendously in my business. And hopefully the information that I share with you tonight will also help you with growing your business more successfully, and also helping you to determine who and how that you can work with everyone in your entire organization. Okay, so let's get right into it. So first things first, what I've learned is that when you start growing a business, especially when you have some momentum going on there, you start growing a pretty large team, right? And then what happens is it becomes an obstacle trying to figure out who you're going to be spending your time coaching, training, development, and who you're not going to be so much spending your time with, right? We've all experienced that at some point in time. And what I notice, for you to really reach high levels within the company and just kind of have your business explode and reach its most maximum potential, what's going to be the biggest obstacle for you will be your current existing team. Hard to say, but that's what's going to actually hold you back from growing huge, massively, okay? And what I learned is that your current team, sometimes they just kind of drain you of all of your energy. Do you ever feel like that before, where you're drained with a lot of your time, drained with emotions, and just lots of stuff that they're asking, where it's sometimes hindering you from moving forward, for bringing on new team members to join your team? If you feel like this way, go ahead and comment a number 1 below in the comments there. I want to see it if you ever experienced this or felt this way, okay? And what happens is we don't actually realize that all of the people in our team are not all deserving of the same amount of time with individually coaching, training, and develop them. We haven't, as a leader, came to realize what it actually means to develop more leaders and to work with the deserving, and to learn how to fragment our time amongst our team the most effective way. Okay, so what is this concept called the 80-20 rule? Okay, this means regardless of how big or how small your organization is, you should only be spending a certain amount of time working with each population. The two populations, there's an 80% population, then there's a 20% population. Now you as a leader should be spending the most of your time with the top 20%. That's where your more individual focus should be towards that population. The other 80% of the population in your team needs to be worked in group, okay? And what happens is that sometimes we make a mistake and we spend our time working with the 80%. You know, those are actually not the right people that need individual attention. You know, the ones who are actually committed, the ones who are driven, the ones who we say that are moving and shaking, these are the ones that are deserving of your more independent one-on-one time, okay? These are the ones that actually are doing the do, are in action, in producing results. This is not just not the first level in your organization, but it may be people down deep as well into third and fourth levels like that. So sometimes we got to go digging deep to see who are those leaders or 20% that we can help rise up and develop, okay? So what happens is we need to create a balance in our business. And we need to make sure that on top of working with our 20% of our organization, you know, the top 20 that are moving and shaking, and the rest of the 80%, we often have to make sure we have time for work in our own business and our own income producing activities, which, as we know, is the prospecting and marketing first and foremost. We need to make sure we strike a balance each and every day. So the 20%, they are basically, number one, I would say, people that are brand new by default. These people that you just brought on, that you just sponsored, those are part of the 20% initially, because they need a little bit more TLC. You know, they're just new, they're getting started, they need more coaching, and you do need to help them so they can get their first sale or sponsor their first person, right out the gate. That's very important. But also amongst that 20%, like I said, are the existing team members that are producing, that are in the game, that are playing ball with you, where you give them homework, they come back, they say, done, next, give me the next assignment, they come back, you're playing back and forth. These are the ones we're spending our time with. You know, the ones that are going to the meetings all the time, the conferences, they're showing up, okay? But a big mistake that leaders have is that we spend so much time managing, and sometimes I feel even babysitting, the 80%. Now, the 80% are doing completely opposite. You know, those are the ones that are kind of standing by the wayside. They're not in the game. They may be sometimes, they're kind of touch and go with their business. They're kind of hot and kind of cold. You help them get started maybe a year ago. They've been on and off, and then all of a sudden out of the blue, they come back. Hey, I'm right here. You know, these are the 80%. And what we should be doing is we shouldn't be spending so much individual focused time on them. We work with them in group. And sometimes when they come back in the game, they have lots of excuses that they share, you know, lots of things that went on and why they can't work the business. And they may know exactly all the things that's needed to help grow their business. They're just not doing the do. They're not in the game. And I like the analogy, like, you know, for those people who are just, you think of a pool and you have the sidelines there, and they're standing by the sidelines thinking about how they're going to be swimming, how they're going to be kicking their legs, how they're going to be moving their arms. And yes, I will sit with you there and chill out a little bit and watch everybody having fun inside the pool, playing with the ball and the volleyball and all of that. But I can only sit there for so long. I am jumping right in, whether I can swim or not. And I'm going fast. I'll be kicking my legs. I'll be doing all the backstrokes and all of this. And you can join me, but you need to jump in now, because I'm going fast and I'm going hard, and I want to make sure it gets done. Those are the ones that are doing in the game. They're doing the do, and they're producing. So we don't want to spend our time with just those who are just kind of sitting by the sidelines. They know exactly how to swim, but they're just dipping their toes in, if they're even doing that. They may just be still sitting on the sideline, just waiting. I don't know what they're waiting on, but they're just waiting. Do you understand? Does anyone here feel me there? Okay, so it's the 80% population of our team, like I said, that don't deserve the individual attention. We need to understand that our time is valuable. You know, nobody will value your time if you don't value it yourself. So what happens is the people who actually listen, the people who are taking action, we need to make sure we teach them all the time. You know, we need to make sure we're constantly connecting with them, because they are going to take action with what we teach them. Whereas the 80%ers, you'll tell them exactly what needs to be done. They come to you with a question, you tell them what needs to be done. They will never do it, or they'll come back with another question, but changing that question around, you know, because maybe they're fearful, they're scared to do something, and they'll change that question around. Do you ever feel like this? Okay. And I know that there are some leaders on the team that you may already have that are in the top 20%, which is great. But sometimes we feel as a leader, okay, we have somebody who's moving and shaking, they're producing, they have a lot of numbers, but we don't actually reach out to them enough. We don't reach out to them, maybe not even at all, because we feel that they don't need hand-holding. We feel that they already know what they're doing. But actually, it's the opposite. You know, yes, they may not need us every single minute, you know. We know this for a fact, but they are the ones that are deserving of our time. They are the ones that are working with us. You know, they are the ones who are duplicating. So that's where we need to put our emphasis, all of our focus. Okay, and this is basically the golden nugget to helping you move forward, is spending your time with the top 20%, because that's what's going to help you grow bigger and go stronger with your business. So the ones who take initiative, those are the ones that are in the game. And then even if they're taking initiative, they may be just initially a good leader, you know, someone who has a lot of great potential. They put in some results. They have sponsored people, they have some customers, things like that. But what you want to focus on as a leader is you want to take that good leader on your team and turn them and develop them into being a great leader. And then taking that great leader and then turn around and develop them and coaching them individually to make them world class. And when you have a world class someone in your organization, it's gold. It's like gold there. That's exactly what you're looking for. So those people that are on the team that are moving and shaking, it's great, that top 20%. But we want to take them from being good all the way to world class, because they have the potential, but sometimes they only see certain limits, you know, but it's up to you to kind of bring out even more of that greatness out of them, because sometimes they just need that little, you know, that extra encouragement to help push them beyond their expectations. And it is possible if you guys work together more so. So basically, how do we actually work with the 80%? Like I mentioned, in group. And what I've done numerous times is I usually do weekly trainings. You know, so it's very important as a leader to have some type of weekly training in place so that all of your folks can come together at least once a week live, you know, whether it be a Facebook Live in a Facebook group that you have, or you may have a conference call or a Skype or a Zoom meeting or a webinar, whatever it is, you need to have that established. So that's for group. Okay. And this is for people who are kind of in the game, you know, sometimes. Actually, we did a Facebook Live, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks back, and I talked about the 3 types of business partners that you'll have, which is the walkers, the joggers, and the runners, and how to work with those. These 80% are more of the walkers and the joggers. You can definitely go back here on my fan page, Work at Home Mom Solutions, and watch that video. It's pretty good. It basically gives you some more insight to this 80% group. Okay. So if you're a leader and you have group meetings in place, or actually if you don't have group meetings in place, you're definitely missing out. Because what group meetings helps you do, it helps you leverage your time so that you're not repeating the same exact thing to every single person that just got started, or for people who are new, I mean, not new, for people who've been within your organization for a while, but they've been in the witness protection program for a while, an MIA, and they're back in the game now, so they say. You can definitely direct them to some of your recordings that talked about certain strategies of marketing, or how to do closing, or how to do prospecting, things like that. And having it in one central place, like a website or somewhere where they can just go to reference that, okay? That's leveraging your time as a leader, and that's definitely essential so that you don't have to spend so much time, you know, working with individual people in that 80% group, okay? And what happens is that question that one person has, somebody else is going to have that same question, so they can go right back to that webinar, just hit play, and you're basically what you said the first time, just repeat it again and again and again to more people on your team, okay? But what happens is, if that person that asked the question to you, you refer them to your trainings, all of your recording, your trainings, and they watch and they see and they apply, and then they come back with another question, and then they apply and they go do that, and then they start producing results and they're consistent with it, that person that was once in that 80% group now has deserved your time, because they're now in the game, they're playing ball with you, and they moved up to the top 20%, and they're deserving of your more individual time. Do you follow me? If this is resonating with you, go ahead and type a number 1 below in the comments there, okay? All right, so the 20%, like I often say, are the action takers. They have the willingness to work. They're coachable, okay? Whereas the 80% are sometimes negative. Sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes there are some negativity within the 80%ers group. I hate to say, but that's what we call them, the 80% group. And as a leader, you need to learn to draw the line somewhere, because sometimes that energy gets sucked out of you, especially if they're negative. If they're calling all the time with some type of negative question or a negative comment about something, they're talking about the product or service or the company, something like that, you know, and it becomes like a vampire just sucking all of the energy out of you. And sometimes it's your choice whether to take that call or not, or whether to answer that email or not, and answering in a nice diplomatic way, something eloquent, you know, because if you spend so much time responding to all that negative emails or picking up the phone to every single time they call you, it's not doing you and your business any good, because you can be utilizing your time more effectively with working your own business with the income producing activities, or working with your top 20%, which is going to help you reach higher ranks within your company as well. Do you follow me? Okay, so I'm sorry, this may be a little bit harsh, you know, but I'm definitely keeping it real here, and I'm keeping it relevant so that you can keep going. Because what I found and I've learned is that if you sit and you babysit all of those people in the 80% group all the time, your personal business, you know, is going to come to a screeching halt, you know. I call it management mode, when you want to try to manage everybody. And sometimes I feel we make a mistake, you know, even I did it at one point in time in my business, where you make a mistake as a leader, and we put so much time training and hours of training the 80% group, because sometimes it's our ego. Sometimes we like that attention. We like people wanting something from us. We feel needed, you know, we like that attention. And, you know, and sometimes we let it get the best of us, and it just sucks us of all of our energy and time. By the time you know, it's the end of the day. You spent so much time coaching Larry, Joe, and Annie, and you had no time for yourself, for Michelle, for Jane, for Deborah. You know, you had no time. So be mindful of your time, and then people will be mindful of yours. Okay. So some questions to ask your prospects, to kind of help you determine what type of, you know, lead will that be, what type of business partner you would have bringing on board. Number one, how much time can you commit to working your home business? Number two, how serious are you with earning X amount of money in your home business? Because oftentimes they always say that I'm looking to make X amount. I want to make 500, I want to make 2,000, I want to make 10,000. You know, how serious are you with making that much money in 30, 60, or 90 days? Okay. Number three, I love this one. How coachable are you? You know, because this will help you understand if this person's willing and able to follow directions, you know, because with this business and in network marketing, there's a lot of duplication here. So if you give somebody homework because you know it works, and they decide not to do it, they want to do it their own way to reinvent the wheel, they're not coachable. You know, and it's going to take longer for them to grow and be successful, because you know what works, you planned everything out, you've done it once before, several times before, and now you're giving to them what works, but they decide, no, I'm going to do it my way, and they're wondering why they're not getting results. It's because of this. So are you coachable? I often like to ask that. And with these type of questions here, basically what you're doing is you're setting the tone of the expectations from that prospect, and then they kind of know how you are as well. So you'll know more about each other if you ask questions like those three. Okay. So again, as a quick recap, for your 20%, top 20% people on your team, make sure you have regular communication with them, meaning you have to have weekly, or even, at least weekly chats with each other, you know, either through phone, email, however you want to communicate with your top 20%. Always be connecting with them, because they need you. You know, the interaction is crucial, because it will help you create more growth within your organization. It will also help you strategize with your current top 20%, because sometimes you may feel that they know everything, but they may not know everything, you know, and they need you sometimes just to kind of encourage them, but also help to keep them focused, because we lose track of our focus with our business, right? But when you connect with each other, you help them gain that focus again, and show them directly what needs to be done today or this week, and show them long term how the actions that they do today is going to help them in the future, in the weeks to come. Okay. And next, let's see, you need to make sure that you're focusing on the 80%, you know, in group, making sure they have some place where they can go for their questions, some type of recordings of all of your trainings that you've done in the past, whether it be conference calls, webinars, things like that. and making sure if you do speak with them, they have a really great question that hasn't been answered in the past, trying to get a group of people together, because you know someone else in the future will have that same question, and bringing them all together and hitting record. So that recorded recorded training can go on some central location where it can be accessed in the future for new business partners to access as well. Okay, so hopefully this helps you with gaining more understanding of how you can build a larger team and how to effectively focus your time on the various types of individuals in your growing team. This works not only for large organizations, but also even if you just have a smaller organization. This is needed because sometimes you'll find yourself spending so much time and energy focused on all these people who are not going to be meeting you halfway. You give them homework and they don't even do it, or they don't even call back or email back. You know, whereas we really need to work with the deserving, those who are producing, who is showing up to the calls, who in the back office always has a new enrollment, a new sponsor, and all of that. These are the people that are going to help you become more successful as well. So hopefully this was beneficial for you. If it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, give it a like, a love, a wow, all of that good stuff. Feel free to share this video as well with people on your team or anyone that you feel that will gain benefit from this. I do trainings like this in my personal coaching group. It's a mastermind that I started not too long ago. If you'd like to join that, I can definitely have you become a part of that, but you definitely have to send me a message, a direct message here on my fan page. Again, it's WHAM Solutions with Michelle Shipp, or WHAM, or Work at Home Mom Solutions with Michelle Shipp. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.